Have you ever wondered which Brooks shoes are the most comfortable? Well, I've tested all of Brooks' shoes, spent over $1,000, and as a foot and ankle specialist, I'm going to talk you through which are the most comfortable, which are the best for different activities, and I'll talk you through the pros and cons of each shoe. So let's start with the Brooks Ghost Max 2. So it comes in around 303 grams for a size 9 men's US. It's got 39 millimeters cushion in the heel, 33 in the forefoot, giving you a 6 mil drop. That's really important if you've got issues around your forefoot like Morton's neuroma or bunion, because it reduces the amount of force that's placed on the forefoot. It's also got a nice wide toe box, so plenty of space for your toes to splay. In addition to that, it comes in a normal wide and an extra wide version. It's got the DNA3 nitrogen infused cushioning in the sole, so it's super soft. You sink into the shoe, not much energy return out of it. So if you're looking for ultimate comfort shoe that has lots of space in the toe box, if you've got any issues with forefoot conditions, it can be an excellent shoe for you. The downsides of this shoe are it's quite chunky and a little bit heavy. So if you're walking in it all day and you find that your feet fatigue a little bit, you might find that extra a little bit of weight a downside. It's also got a 6 mil drop compared to the traditional higher drops in the Brooks shoes. So if you have any history of issues with things like Achilles tendonitis, it may not be a good shoe for you. Overall, it's what we classify as one of Brooks' more orthopedic shoes, excellent for forefoot conditions. You can walk in it for long periods of time, but just keep in mind that's a little bit heavy. The next shoe in the Brooks line is the Brooks Ghost 16. So they've made 16 versions of this. It's one of the staples in the Brooks brand. It's a traditional neutral walking shoe. Again, it's got the similar DNA Loft V3 nitrogen infused cushioning, so it's nice and plush. You sink into it a little bit, but has a bit of energy return. It has 35.5 millimeters in the heel, 23.5 in the forefoot, giving you a 12 mil drop. So it's twice the amount of drop that you get in the Ghost Max 2. So it tilts your foot a little bit upward. Again, it has reduced volume and cushioning in the forefoot, and that tilt makes it less ideal for forefoot conditions, great for conditions like Achilles tendonitis. It's got a little bit of a stiff heel counter, so not so good if you've got conditions like Haglund's deformity. It's got excellent cushioning, so it's a bit more energy return, not as stiff as what you get in the Ghost Max 2, so a bit more push through, a bit more energy return than what you get in this. It's a little bit lighter, so not as clunky. It's got lots of space in the toe box, nice lockdown in the midfoot and in the heel, and it's got a really padded, luxurious fit on the heel counter as well, that's quite stiff. So it's an excellent day-to-day shoe, nice and light. If you want to find a neutral shoe for walking around, the Brooks Ghost is an excellent shoe. Some of the downsides to it are the fact that it hasn't got as much padding underneath the forefoot, and that it's got that high drop, so it places some extra pressure on the front. But an excellent option overall. Then we've got the Brooks Glycerin Max, which is a brand new shoe in the Brooks range in 2024. As you can see, it's got a super chunky midsole. So it's 45 millimeters in the rear foot, 39 in the forefoot, giving you a 6 mil drop. So it's got the most amount of cushioning underneath your foot of all 6 shoes. In relation to that, it's super soft underfoot. If you're looking for a really comfortable shoe, this can be an excellent option for you. Even though it has the extra cushioning underneath, it's still lighter than what you get in the Ghost Max 2. So an excellent option if you're looking for maximum cushioning, maximum comfort, but a slightly lighter shoe. It's also got an excellent aggressive forefoot rocker, so you can see where the shoe curves upward towards the forefoot. That helps with the propulsion phase of the gait cycle. Really helps if you've got any issues in your forefoot like metatarsalgia, as it quickly transitions through. Some of the downsides to this is at the minute it only comes in a normal size, so if you have a wider foot, it doesn't accommodate that. It's a true to size and length, and I have a normal size foot and I fit comfortably in terms of width. However, if you have a wider fit, might not be a great option. Then we've got the Brooks Glycerin 21. So again, another neutral shoe in the Brooks range. It's got 38 millimeters in the rear foot, 28 in the forefoot, giving you a 10 mil drop, so slightly lower than what you get in the Brooks Ghost 16. However, it's a very similar shoe with the exception that it's got more cushioning underneath the foot. That does two things. It makes it a little bit softer on the foot, so you sink into it a little bit more, so it's a bit more plush than what you get in the 16, which gives you a bit more energy return if you want to walk faster. However, in return for that, you've got a stiffer midsole because you've got more cushioning underneath the forefoot. You've also got more padding underneath. It has less of a drop, so you're going to get less pressure on the forefoot. And those who find that a higher drop is a bit clunky, you might enjoy the Glycerin a little bit more. It eats up the miles, so you can use it as a day-to-day shoe for walking all around. It's got good grip and traction underneath, so good for wet surfaces. It's got a really broad toe box and a little bit wider than what you get in the Go 16. It also comes in a normal and a wide version in case you have an extra wide foot. And it's got a moderate midfoot and heel width, so it accommodates those who've got a slightly narrower heel but a broader forefoot. Nice and padded and luxurious around the heel counter, and it comes in at the same weight as the Brooks Go 16. So those of you who are looking for a little bit extra comfort, a little bit extra padding, but still a relatively lightweight, daily neutral shoe, then the Glycerin 21 is an excellent option for you. Then we have the Brooks Launch 10. Now this is the most cost-effective shoe in the Brooks range. It comes in just under $100, so it gives you lots of action-packed cushioning underneath despite the reduction in price. As a result, the cushioning isn't as soft or isn't as plush as what you get in the Go 16 or in the Glycerin. So it's a little bit firmer. So those of you who don't like to sink into the shoe a little bit and want a bit more energy return in the shoe, you might like the Launch 10. It's a little bit more snug in the forefoot, so it doesn't give you as much space as what you get in the Glycerin. And the Glycerin has a much plusher upper fit, so it feels more like a sock fit, where it's very much an engineered mesh on top with the Launch 10. And it's also got a very thin tongue, so it's not as padded. So again, you just get a little bit less quality in the tongue as a result of it being a little bit cheaper than the Glycerin. However, if you're looking for a day-to-day shoe for walking, for daily activities, it's an excellent, cheaper, more affordable option for you. Some of the downsides are that it's a little bit narrow and tapers, a little bit quicker in the toe box, so not so good if you've got bunions and Morton's neuroma. Doesn't have as much padding or energy return as some of the other shoes, but really in terms of day-to-day walking shoes that are under $100, this is one of the best on the market. Then finally, we've got the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24. This is one of the best stability shoes on the market. It's the GTS means go to support, and they've got a medial support on the inside of the shoe. Now that comes up and puts a little bit of pressure on the medial arch of the foot to help support it, elevate it. So those of you who got a flatter foot, who've issues with posterior tibial tendinopathy, you might find this a better option for you. It also has the DNA Loft nitrogen infused cushioning, so similar feel to what you get in the Go 16, with the exception that it has that extra bit of support. It has plenty of space in the toe box, and it comes in a wider version as well. It's got a nice padded tongue that's not gusseted and loads of padding around the heel counter. Some of the downsides to this shoe is if you don't like that intrusive pressing underneath the arch of your foot, you may not enjoy it as much as some other stability shoes like the Mizuno Wave Inspire 20 or the New Balance 860 V14. However, if you're looking for a stability shoe that covers all day-to-day walking, that gives you nice energy return, nice and comfortable, nice sock-like fit on top, the Adrenaline GTS 24 can be an excellent option for you. So, all 6 shoes do different types of things. The Glycerin Max and the Ghost Max 2 are the most max cushion shoes on the Brooks range. They're super comfortable. Glycerin comes in a little bit lighter than the Ghost Max 2. The Ghost Max has some more wider options, so accommodates that wider foot. We don't have that yet in the Glycerin Max. The Glycerin 21 versus the Go 16 are very similar shoes, except you've got a bit more padding in underfoot and cushioning in the Glycerin 21, and a bit more sock-like feel as opposed to an engineered mesh on top of the Go 16. The Launch 10 is an excellent, affordable option if you're looking for a day-to-day walking shoe that comes in around $100. And the Adrenaline GTS 24 is an excellent shoe if you're looking for a stability daily walking shoe. If you've got any questions on any of these shoes, please leave them in the comment section. We've got links to all shoes in the description. If you found the video helpful or interesting, just liking, sharing and subscribing makes a big difference to the channel. If you purchase through the links in the description below, it helps fund the channel without affecting the price that you pay. Otherwise, we've got independent reviews and comparison of each individual Brooks shoe, Asics, Hoka, a whole variety of shoes, so check out our channel. And we're happy to help wherever we can, so do leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you very much for watching.